Step into a world where ancient wisdom meets modern mysticism. Introducing the Gnostic Tarot, a powerful fusion of esoteric art and Gnostic themes designed for those who seek the ultimate gnosis. This mesmerizing deck, rich in symbolism, draws from the profound teachings of Gnosticism, serving as an ideal companion for meditation, reflection, and the exploration of spiritual realms. Whether you are a seasoned tarot enthusiast or new to the practice, the Gnostic Tarot caters to all, offering a portal to ancient wisdom and a tool for uncovering the hidden truths in your mystical journey. Unveil the mysteries, embrace the wisdom. The Gnostic Tarot is a timeless companion for your spiritual odyssey. Take a journey with Gnostic luminaries and learn their stories in a visually stunning manner. From Sophia to the Gnostic Christ, their journey is your self-discovery. Choose from the basic deck or the deluxe version, which includes a beautifully crafted journey book and a magnetic storage box, ensuring that your Gnostic Tarot remains a treasured companion on your spiritual quest. The Gnostic Tarot is an original and collaborative effort between Miguel Connor of Aeon Byte Gnostic Radio and Matthew Schmitz of Altrusian Grace Media. Visit our website to embark on your journey today. Syncrasis Publishing, where ancient wisdom and modern mysticism converge. Get thee thy Gnostic Tarot, indeed. And yes, as many of you know, my wife Serafina is now offering Gnostic Tarot readings, all in the show notes and all game-changing. But welcome, everybody, to Aeon Byte. My name is Miguel Connor, and I am so glad to see you on this Jupiter day. For those of you who are tuning live, and glad to see you in eternity beyond the illusion of space-time. I hope you're writing your own gospel and living your own myth. I hope you're running with those searching for the truth and avoiding those who have found it. And I am very excited today as we are hosting Ellen Yeplin to discuss her book, The Aura Color Wheel, What Your Soul's Aura Reveals About Your Inner Gifts, Wounds, and Lessons. Ellen, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Wow, thank you so much for having me, and fantastic deck. I'm actually drawn to it.
It's gotten great results, and yes, it is magical, and we're all doing what we can to spread some light in these dark times. And with us too, we've got Graham Pong to keep us company. Graham, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm looking to see all sorts of colored lights. I think we're in need of some of a nice light show these days.
There you go. There you go. And for the audience that is coming here, if you do have any questions for Ellen, please, as always, super chat them so we can separate them and get to them. And as always, yeah, please support Aeon Byte in any way you can. You know the drill. Become a patron, one-time donations. I can't do it without you. And I do appreciate those of you who support this Red Pill Cafeteria on a weekly or monthly basis. Well, Ellen, let's start with you. As many of us happens, we don't change because things were going well. We change or we pivot towards the light because of something, a crisis or something like that. That happened to you. And please tell the audience your story.
Oh, definitely. I would say that's my wake-up call. 2011. It's like, wow, time flies. 14 years ago.
Yeah.
I was actually really deep in the matrix, living my 3D reality, thinking happiness and fulfillment can come with a successful career, a stable job, and a good husband. I had it all, so I thought, oh, that's awesome, right? So am I supposed to be happy? I think at the time, that's what I brought up to believe. That's the happiness criteria. However, I was deep with anxiety and depression. I was almost graduating my PhD degree, on set to become a professor, engaged to my current husband. From the outside, everything looks perfect, but I was in therapist's office all the time until I had a ER visit due to panic attack. That was like real bad. And I began to ask 3 really deep fundamental questions like, who am I? Why am I here? And how can I be truly happy? So that set me on a spiritual journey of self-discovery and self-healing. That's the beginning.
That's the beginning. That's the pivot point. It wasn't, some of us is like, well, do as we told, be like everybody else. Material delights come, respect from our neighbors. And then we realize, I'm so miserable. There has to be more, right? They're just,
Yeah. Like
there has to be a purpose.
Until later on, I channeled the book. Then I realized that I was born an artist. Doing the statistical analysis, writing research wasn't my soul's calling, right? No wonder it's such a misalignment. No wonder, you are living in miserable life. So that's just pointed out there. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And your pivot wasn't, it was great because, as you write, you became a licensed architect, interior designer. You embraced feng shui. I mean, you were still a productive member of society, but you were more in the arenas that could open your channels of communication and allow you to thrive as an artist.
Definitely. And from then, I career-wise, I switched to feng shui interior design. That was actually my first business. Because I've been always wanting to become an architect and interior designer when I grow up. I was in China. So there, art or architect is not really encouraged, especially for a girl,
Right.
So I'm like, fuck that. I really want to do that. So let me just go ahead. And also, still have a yoga and meditation, certificate. And I remember like a teacher training program. And I remember the first time when I did a group meditation, I was sobbing like a baby. It really changed my perspective of there is nothing mystical out there, from a scientific standpoint. However, I felt a bigger presence was holding me the whole time. I was sobbing like a baby. I feel so much emotional wounds were healed. And later on, when I was able to tune into the quantum realm or the spirit realm, I know that Mother Mary was holding me the whole time. And of course, growing up, I wasn't religious or taught any spirituality in any way. So I thought that was not the real thing. But the direct experience cannot be eliminated. So I got completely hooked with meditation. Just want to go back to that yummy space of like safety, security, in health, in love. I did that for 3 months nonstop, only 20 minutes a day. And I was able to get off all the medication for anxiety and depression. And I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, this is golden, right? I'm like, okay, this is like more magical than I thought. And of course, at the time, I still wasn't like really spiritually connected. I just feel like, oh, this is going to help me to calm down. And then in the yoga studio, I did my training. There is a Vedic astrologer. And, just out of curiosity, I'm like, yeah, sure, I do a reading. Everyone goes to reading. I say, sure. And then the reading astrologer just looked at my chart and literally told me that your dharma or your life's purpose this lifetime is to create. And I'm like, okay, I've never met this guy. I've never looked, and he just like 5 minutes, he could tell my whole life story and what I'm here supposed to do. So from then on, I'm completely hooked of all spiritual wisdom, I would say, to find the self, Ginny Key's human designs, Enneagram, numerology, you name it, I've studied it. I'm like, this is like golden. It's much better than going to school and they have no idea what really makes me happy. So that's kind of like always on the parallel of, my also my career change. So from, doing research, writing academic paper to becoming a feng shui interior designer to later on a professional artist. I paint through my third eye. Those are all my paintings in the background.
Very nice.
I also pick up crystal healing on the way. So some of them are like crystal grids that I do. And that's my spirit team, the Dragon's Eye, right behind me.
Very nice.
So so it's a huge transformation through this 14 years of spiritual journey, as me getting closer and closer to my soul's purpose or my soul's calling. It's real joy. That's the difference.
And you also mentioned another pivotal moment was when you were doing a cosmic meditation and you saw a vision of a crab. Tell us about that.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that was after my Kundalini awakening. So this daily meditation, I'm still doing it after 14 years. I'm still doing my meditation because but now just very different. So about 7 years, 2018, into my daily meditation, I had a Kundalini awakening. So for people who experience this, you know that it's very severe, like the whole body is shaking and my third eye become wide open. So that's when I be able to perceive aura, the colors, the electromagnetic field around people, see the quantum field, understand time and space are complete illusion because there is multiple version of you stacked up. There is no, it's vertical. It's not happening simultaneously at the same time. I see holograms, casting on people. And I also see the 9 different type of spirit guides that I talk about in my book. So angels, ancestors, star seeds, star beings and things like that. And how I channel this system, one of the deep cosmic meditation come through was there was a crab. I was doing a meditation. I really want to find my star family at the time. That was my intention. I'm like, I set an intention. This is my meditation practice. I want to see who is my star origin. And there was a crab coming in my vision. I'm like, okay, so I cannot deny it. I really see a crab, but that's like really ridiculous because I have no idea what that means. But intuition, you cannot filter with your logical mind, right? So I just trust it. And I see turquoise ray of light, really like bright turquoise ray of light, a crab walking around, really rocky. I see a lot of rocks, planet. So using my artist skills, I always paint my meditation vision. I actually drew it out, and then I put it in Google, image Google. It's my best friend.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes I channel symbols. I have no idea. I drew it out. I image Google it. And guess what? A map, like a picture of the Crab Nebula came to view. And my whole body was shaking, having goosebumps. As I'm talking about it, I still have the goosebumps. And I almost cry. And I can tell, it's like, I feel a belonging. I feel a longing for home. Like that's my home before I came to planet Earth. Then I started to check it out, and Crab Nebula is actually a supernova explosion. So that the planet itself, it's actually exploded. That's when I dropped down to Mother Earth. And it belonged to a constellation, the Pleiadians, the 7 sisters in the Taurus constellation. So I was like, I have whole body truth chills, and I'm like, oh, I belong to the Pleiades. So that opened up a new channel of light of so the next subsequent days I keep tuning in their light. Well, now it's called light language, I think, in the spirit realm. So hearing the vibration frequencies, I would say it's more vibration frequency and color. That's how I know they are. So that's one of the mystical experience that I had before I channel the aura color wheel system.
Fascinating. And you tied some of this to Egyptian lore, right?
Yeah, that's right. So there were 4 really deep channel experience to this system. The first is the cosmic origin, that I know that I'm coming from a school. And the Pleiadians are actually the schools for all star beings. So if you want to, you go to another planet, all the star beings go there for schooling. So then I know, teaching, creating are the natural gift of Pleiadians. And then another one is the Egyptian temple. So there was another, actually the first one, I would like to say the first one is actually I tuned into a spirit guide. I think that was like the soul gift meditation. I see a guy coming into my view wearing like a 19th century British clothing. Like I just know it's Britain. I don't know the name and everything. I see visions very vividly, like what they dress, what they're doing, and things like that. And he told me that I need to write a book on soul evolution. Later on, of course, I Google it. His name is Herbert Spencer. So Herbert Spencer was a 19th century philosopher who coined Charles Darwin's, evolution, like human evolution theory, but on society and also psychology. And he told me that I should write a book on soul evolution for the soul. I have no idea what that means. To be honest, I always wanted to publish a book, but I thought it was a coffee table book with some pretty pictures on it. Okay, it has nothing to do with any of these. And then I said, okay, great. And then the second was that cosmic origin, meditation that I connected with the Pleiades. And the third one is this one that I see a temple in Egypt. I haven't been to it like physically, but the vision is very vivid. Same thing, I drew it out, and it's like a calendar spinning on a temple ceiling. It's spinning really fast. And I see that I counted there very vividly. There were like 36 zodiacs, not the typical 12 zodiacs. So that's like, I'm a perplex. I stayed there for a while. I'm like, what's going on, right? But you can tell because it's a temple. You can tell it's Egyptian temple. And same thing, image Google, and that's actually the Dendera, the Hafon temple in Dendera. And that was the original Dendera calendar, which has 36 decans, or the 36 spirits, where the ancient Egyptians actually counted the 360 days. That's how they counted their calendar, and they call them the decans. And that's also coincide with the 36 soul aura colors in the aura color wheel. It's your soul's aura color. And then the last, deep channeling experience was me seeing, remember, once my third eye opened, I'm able to tune in to see, auras. And there was a particular type of aura. There are 3 types. There are a particular type of aura. I call it the soul aura. It's radiating around your heart chakra. And that particular one is that when I see humans have stronger, like the aura layers that's stronger, comes forward. They are more vibrant, more vivid. So, for example, if you're more, green or blue spectrum, you're more vibrant and in green and blue. And then the wound or the weaker aura color, so the red or the orange, kind of subside. So it's like weaker and dimmer. It's not as vibrant. Then I know that, okay, this particular soul has this gift because, these 2 aura layers are stronger. And the other aura layers are the wounds because they need to heal this particular wound this lifetime. And going back to my questions, 14 years ago, I asked, who are we? At a soul level, we are light. That's at a soul level, we're just a ball of light. No matter what spirit I tune in, they are all ball of light. That's light energy. I call them the light bulbs, right? And then why are we here? Why are we in planet Earth? We are here to evolve. It's literally evolve to the higher version, to the next version of ourselves until we have the white light or the golden light, right? Because we're all here to use our gift to be of service. What's evolution means, what soul evolvement means, it means that you use your, hey, balloons. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, that wasn't me.
Okay. So the universe is celebrating the truth. So we are here to share our gift, to be of service, right? and then to heal our wounds that we haven't resolved from our past lives, and then also to learn the lessons that we, haven't incorporate from our past lives. That's what evolution means. That's why we're here. And how can we be happy? Of course, to choose the path that's either to embody our gift or, healing our wound, instead of like me doing something polar opposite, so that your life won't manifest, physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual symptoms. Because if you are really far away from, you're not on track with your soul's path, you're really far out, then you get symptoms, right? So those 3 questions are answered. And boom, like it was in the speed of moment, although like I describe it, in a pretty long sentence, but it's just like in that split of moment, it's almost like, boom, I have something golden. So I think for the next about 2 to 4 weeks, I was in deep channeling mode. So I had to ask my husband to help handle, all the normal day-to-day stuff, so that I can stay in theta brainwave as much as possible, So people think I sleep a lot, but I wasn't, because, in that deep meditation state, I don't want to get out of it, so that I channel the whole system. Now, there were 20 question quiz for people who are not able to see their auras, but still know their soul gift archetype, their soul wound, and their soul lesson. So my spirit team, real nice, and channel through me a 20 question quiz, which you can take in 5 minutes to figure it out instead of opening up your third eye to see it. So, because I know that it's completely channeled, because there was one question, you will see it's a bunch of dates and times, really precise to the T. And I have no idea what that means at the beginning. So I do the same deal. They know that I always Google. I put a bunch of dates and times and numbers and in there. And then it comes out that it's actually trying to figure out your Chiron sign in Western and Vedic astrology. So that Chiron sign tells someone's where the wound is located. And I'm like, wow, this is so smart. So that's why I say that this system is channeled. And of course, later on, after I got the book deal from Hay House, I the stories, and like to make it more enriched, I add on stories and examples. But the system itself are channeled from these 4, mythical experience, if you would say, all of a sudden they'll drop down on me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for sharing that. It's fascinating. Yeah, for the audience, as I always suggest, you want to know where to start, just start meditating. It's so good. Like I said, 20 minutes. If you can't do 20 minutes, try 5 minutes. Just sitting with yourself is the ultimate form of self-knowledge. Don't have expectations, but you will see the benefits in time. Maybe your ego won't be happy with the direction and the benefits, but they are there, right?
Yeah, Miguel, I totally agree. I cannot agree with this more. If there's only one thing that you ask me what you recommend, that's the only thing. Sit every day 5 minutes with yourself. Do nothing. No agenda, no to-do list, nothing. Just sit there and see what happens. Doesn't even need to do any fancy stuff. That was like really changed me. Meditation changed my life. Let me put it that way, and I had no expectation of Kundalini awakening, although I learned it on the books, right? I'm like, oh, okay. But like, I didn't even expect. If 10 years ago you asked me, I believe angels a lot, I would tell you, no, they don't exist, right?
You crazy.
Exactly. After 2018, like, you cannot get rid of that. Like, once you experience it, you cannot go back to the matrix anymore. Once you know the freaking truth, you're like, wow, I'm not going back there, So it's the, I think it's a natural progression. So for me, it wasn't like I need to train to get a spiritual awakening in any way. It's just a natural progression. And your soul, to me, it's more like a soul remembrance. Like your soul actually remember. Because I have done this so many lifetimes. Now I did so many past life regression. I remember in my Akashic record, this is not my first time doing this, like doing channel writing and teaching and all that. I'm like, wow, okay, so my soul is actually ready to birth this lifetime. And talking about it, funny enough, like once this thing is channeled, because I didn't even know I'm going to publish a book. Of course, I have no like book agent, like nothing. Yeah, I have nothing about that. I was just an artist, to be honest. I was doing a full-time painting job and have my gallery shows. And then I'm okay now, spirit guide, you help me channel this thing. What do I do with it? And of course, I started a course. I want to teach it. I'm using it myself, and I want to teach to my students and clients and see whether it's actually working, right? And of course it is. So there was a lot of stories using this system, and actually it's working. I'm like, okay, this is magical. I want to help other people. And then they said like my spirit team is like, okay, now you're ready. I'm going to help you publish. I have no idea what that means, but like within a week, I received an email from Hay House in my inbox. Although I didn't sign up for it, like I didn't sign up their email list letter. I read a lot of their books, but I have so many emails, I don't subscribe to anything. But then an email dropped in my inbox. It's like, hey, we have a membership called the Writers Community. If you want to, publish with us, you can submit a book proposal, and it's like a competition. You can win a contract with us. I'm like, okay, this is the divine sign. Is it like bluntly a sign? You don't do anything and drop it in. I'm like, okay, I'm really super in alignment. So you know that you're super in alignment with your soul's purpose. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. So that's it.
That's great. Yeah, great indeed, for sure. And so your Kundalini experience was you weren't expecting it. It just came out of you weren't doing tantra or anything like that. You were just
I do Kundalini yoga. I actually like it. So basically any type of yoga out there, I've tried it. And also any type of meditations that's out there, I also have tried it. So later on in my practice, early on, I don't like Kundalini yoga because it's a repetition of mantra, doing it like, I don't know what that means at the very early on. So I'm more of a hatha yoga practitioner.
Right.
But then later on, I feel like, no, I don't know why I begin to like it. Okay. So I try different meditation, and also, meditation. I also tried many different types. I actually went to ashram. I also did the 10-day Apanshala Vipansha. Like I did a lot of meditation retreats. I just personally love it. It's not like I go there so I can have an awakening experience. I just need that in my life so I can be insane and still a human being. So I don't get anxiety. I don't get depression. I don't go nuts. That was really my purpose at the beginning. So, and I do generally love wisdom. Like that's like the biggest thing. Like people like stars, superstars. My idol are always those that are in the midst of, craziness, and they stay super calm, like Muhammad Gandhi. I'm like, okay, the world's going to end. You're like doing non-violence. What are you doing? So those are always my idols. I really want to bathe in their aura and really want to know, what are these people? What are these enlightened saints? What are they doing? Right? So I just love to hang out with these people. So like in the monks and in the, in the temples, you always get that vibe. I kind of like it. So I stay there. And of course, I did a lot of practice also on my own. I do take daily pauses because I remember when the book just published, there was a period of time I get really busy. When I can tell now, I can tell when my life gets busy and I don't do my daily practice, I feel weird. Like you feel you're out of alignment. I need to go back in. So to be honest, yeah, daily practice it's the only thing. So right now, even the 3D life gets really tough. I would say 5 deep breaths. I would take a pause and to myself, okay, today is a full day. I'm grateful. I'm going to take 5 deep breaths. I'm here with you. When I said with you, now I talk to my spirit team every single day. I literally call them out. I say, hey, Michael, what's up? That's Archangel Michael talking. Right. So, once you connect with your team on a regular basis, you can be a little bit more playful. And I even ask for signs. Like I keep asking for signs. I'm like, yeah, I feel, alone just talking to air. Why don't you show me a feather? Why don't you show me a bird? Why don't you play with me?
Right.
And then, but of course, you have to be quiet enough to kind of notice, right? They are not like really loud. Sometimes they are very subtle, but you're not quiet enough, you will miss the sign. But because I've been doing it for so long, I know that they are around and they always show it to me. And the other day there is a crow, that's Archangel Gabriel. He's worried that I don't see him. He literally peck on the window. I'm like, yeah, I know you're here. I know you have something to say. Okay. So once you have to be open and completely trust. Now I'm a walking example from complete not religion, not believing any of these to now I'm a total believer. Then you can see the transformation. You doesn't have to grow up, either esoteric or spiritual in any way, because I think this is our true nature at a soul level. Because even spirit are bowl of light. We are bowl of light, spirit are bowl of light. How do we communicate? It's just light talks with light. That's why now human beings use light language as how to communicate with the divine, which I also talk about how to connect with your spirit team. I even lay out steps for people who wants the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Personally, I don't have any, but that's the best thing, because you cannot have an expectation or an agenda. You cannot say that, hey, I'm going to connect, to-do list, connect with my spirit team today, and then you want the download today. No, it doesn't happen now. It's not your own timing, it's divine timing. Just like they sold me this book contract, they know that because there were 2 deadlines to the submission. They know the fast one, which I pushed it for it, of course. It didn't end up working because they know that wasn't the timing yet. And later on, I realized why. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's because I don't have the full system flushed out yet with all the examples and stuff. And later on, the second version is much better. But of course, my human self always wanted to, let's do it. So that's, now I am living, I would say, like more like a spirit or soul guided way instead of the, but this way is actually easier, to be honest. It's more in flow because you attract instead of trace. It's actually less burnout, less tiring. I used to get burnout a lot. I mean, now I'm like, yeah, nope. So if this time doesn't work out, it's for my highest good. I'm going to wait, see what's coming next to me.
I think that's wise idea. Yeah, I think when people ask me what is enlightenment, I often say enlightenment is simply listening. The universe is speaking, your soul is speaking, our ancestors are speaking 24/7. And maybe all Buddha did was he sat and he got quiet and he listened. Maybe when Jesus was in the desert, all he did was, well, I'm in the desert, I'm going to listen to the universe. Simple as that, right? Listen.
Totally. I love the word enlightenment, Miguel, because I actually thought about it many times. And what's a light bulb moment for me is when I see that at a soul level, we're all light. And that's why the spiritual, evolution process, the sages call them enlightenment. It's literally just to embody your light, to remember, your nature is light. It's not this physical body. And Jesus Christ and Buddha walked the human path and achieved enlightenment. It's because, all their aura layer, because if you are light, what are you made up of? You're made up of the 7 layers of light. That's the light bulb, right? And Jesus Christ and Buddha walked the human path, heal all the wound. There was no more wound. Learn all the lessons there was no more lesson. And in the end, every single aura layer is their gift. Remember that the gift, it's all like strong. And then eventually they become either white or golden in their aura. That's why they call it the golden halo or the white halo. That's what it is. That's what enlightenment is. So even if we don't get to that this lifetime, we can get it as close as possible to heal, the aura layer wounds and learn the aura lessons. And that's what this book is all about. it actually very clearly state, the symptoms, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual symptoms for each aura layer, so you can self-diagnose what's out of balance. And it also offers you holistic practices and medicine, like herbal medicine. I'm also Ayurveda practitioner. So it's important, food is for the physical aura layer, and breath work, of course, right? And then, of course, meditation and connecting with the spirit team, that's more of a spiritual layer, if it is a spiritual symptom that manifesting past life traumas, ancestral traumas, things like that. And some are emotional or mental, just like me having anxiety and depression. Those are emotional, mental symptoms, right? And those have other, like I also incorporate feng shui practices, how to, live with the nature cycles, as well as meditation, of course, to each aura layer. So it's almost like a blueprint that you can get. Once you get the book, you get a blueprint. I self-diagnose, this is what I need to do. And then now I know what I might give, what I might wound. That's like, how do I balance them and strengthen them? And the cool thing about this system, I love it, it's dynamic. It's not like astrology. You have only one sun sign, one moon sign. Although Vedic astrology and it's a little different. But however, when I mention it's dynamic, because your soul evolves. As your soul evolves, you get more and more strength. So they're not wound anymore, they're not lesson anymore. You get more and more strength. You become a different soul gift archetype. Or you can develop all soul gift archetypes at the same time. So multiple of them at the same time. That's also why Jesus can perform healing in 1 second and become a teacher the next second. And then, lead a group to achieve a vision the next second. Because he can shape-shift between healer to teacher to visionary soul gift archetypes simultaneously. So that's like when you talk about enlightenment, that's how I read it. That's like you embody all of these. You can become, an entertainer or an artist or an entrepreneur at the same time. So the universe, like why they keep calling the quantum is infinite possibilities, it's because of that. But you have to embody your light. And that's what I find it fascinating, like working, channeling this work also give my personal like education, to be honest. Like I get educated from the truth, from the source. That was like my opening for me.
Wow, yes. And for the audience, it is all in the book, the whole pathway. Let me bring in Graham. Graham, what do you think, or do you have a question for Helen?
Oh, no, I find absolutely her story fascinating. She's been riding that synchronistic highway where one happy coincidence leads to another. And I'm pretty convinced one of her spirit guides is a book agent. That's for sure. Unfortunately for me, the synchronistic highway is often, when one door closes, a window to the fire escape opens.
Well, yeah, it happens different ways, but I just trust that no matter what happens, it is really for our highest good. And sometimes something doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that it's bad. Later on, it takes a while for us to get that perspective.
Oh, I agree 100%. I trust that it's for the higher good. Too often it's like couldn't the higher good have been served by something I would have liked a little better?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
It's, on a serious question though, is for me, I really cannot separate meditation from breath work. And I was curious what insights you had into the linkage between the meditation and the breath. Tag.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. I mean, meditation and breath work, actually, they're interlinked. Actually, then you might actually like Kundalini meditation a lot, because that's also part of the breath work, like physical movement. So when
I'm familiar, yes.
Yes. Okay. So interesting. Because in my book, there was a chapter about meditation. each meditation method is related to each aura layer. And that's why there are so many meditation available. And what you're drawn to in a particular practice, it's because your particular aura layer, remember, because we are light, and breath work is really deeply linked with the red aura layer powered by the root chakra. Okay, so anything that's physical that we need to do movement or breathing, prana, that's like, the life source, that's related to the red aura layer and the orange aura layer, like the lower two chakras. Now, this indication, it tells me that now you're working on those aura layers. They might be either a lesson or a wound that you are trying to balance out. So when you tend to drawn to breath work, you are either dealing with like a long-term physical symptoms, that's the root aura, root chakra, or you're healing some form of ancestral trauma or past life trauma. That's also the connection to our past life and our ancestors. You are rewiring something that, you get from your childhood, inner child healing. That's in the sacral chakra. So when people drawn to that type of work with meditation, it tells me that, they are balancing out the red and orange. Now, once you have the meditation with breath work together, it's a form of meditation. Breath work is a form of meditation. And then, you kind of return back to a balance. You feel like, my physical symptom it's whole, for now. And it doesn't seem like I have a lot of, ancestral wounds, or that it's not manifested. Then you can go up the breath work. That when you do breath work, then like the second stage, I would say, is then it actually opens up your third eye or your channels to connect with the divine. So first you need to deal with the debris, kind of like the human, the 3D realms, the lower chakras. And once that comes back to balance, if you keep doing it, the breath work will actually opens up your prana to connect with the divine. So if that makes sense. So now humans like me, like all of us, like we're drawn to a particular practice at a particular time. It's because we need that particular thing. Just like me, like I evolved so many different way of doing yoga or different type of meditation at a particular point. It's because that particular energy is what we need right now in our life. And then later on, if you keep doing this particular form, if you don't change, you just keep doing it, then that's what happens to me. I drawn to Kundalini Kundalini meditation. Probably at the time, it's for my solar plexus chakra. Like I need a lot of light in my solar plexus. That Kapalabhati, if you know breath work, that's also to activate my solar plexus chakra. Because I need the motivation, the empowerment, the self-identity to come all in me, right? So that's the beginning. I drawn to it. And then I keep doing it because I still enjoy it, but I don't think, I think I have the confidence. I think I have the self-empowerment. I don't think I'm leaking, like I need anything anymore. But you keep doing it, that amp up my channel to go to the higher chakras. And I think that's what eventually get to the Kundalini awakening for me. But of course, at the time, I wasn't aware or expect that if I keep doing this will happen. So I hope that answers your question.
No, very, very good. Yeah, no, the Kundalini is sort of like there are many different ways to climb the mountain, and there's no really wrong way. For me, for me, the meditation, it's I need to sync the breath and body together so they can kind of fade into the background so I can move like kind of up the chain, if that makes sense.
That totally makes sense. And I think a lot of astral travel, if you feel it, actually do that. Because you, as you mentioned, that put them like fade in the background, it's almost like you get the body doing their own thing. So there is no more distractions for your soul. Mm-hmm. So your soul is completely freeing. All of these bodies doing their own thing because they're repetition. They don't need to think. They don't require you to think too much of it. So you're completely in your soul space. And I've experienced that either through actually I've experienced that type of meditation when I feel like I'm like almost astral traveling, like my soul is coming up and I'm seeing my body doing the breath work and the movement, but I'm floating up here looking at my body. I don't know if that happens to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, you're describing it very, very accurately. And just
Yes.
to go further on that one,
Okay.
you're talking about three different layers. How does that correspond with the chakras? Are there the chakras correspond to specific layers, or is it just sort of the layers are kind of separate from the chakras? Okay.
Miguel Graham is a great wingman, by the way. He asks really relevant questions. Yes, I love that question. People will ask me, like if it is not specific, like it's happening all three at the same time, right? It's because chakras always work in pairs. I also describe that in my book. It's just like the yin and the yang energy. So everything in it, the energy, the light bulb within us, or everything, in the universe is made up of yin and the yang. Okay. So that's why the lower three are paired up with the higher three chakras to, like, if you have a vision, inspire your action. Your action is in the solar plexus, the yellow aura layer, but the vision is in the third eye chakra. So they work in pairs. Now, it doesn't mean that they have to be always this pair. It can be this, any higher three or any lower three interchangeable, okay, at the same time. So that's why I said at the beginning, when you're still in the 3D, you haven't gone to the astral travel yet. You're working in the lower chakra. So once it's kind of stable, your higher chakra started to get activated, okay? So they begin to work in pairs. And the heart chakra is always your bridge. It's in between the higher three and the lower three chakras. It's always in between. And that one actually is the gateway. To be honest, like whenever you have soul travel, freedom, or do whatever into the quantum field, that's your heart, because your soul resides in your heart chakra. That's the one that comes out. So that's why when you mention 3 layers, you're absolutely right, because you're working one lower aura layer, one higher low aura layer, and at the same time, your heart is the one that comes out. So and to experience that synchronicity or the holistic, I would say the holy way of getting there, you have to first begin with the lower 3. So once you get to, like, you kind of heal both physically, mentally, emotionally, you're good, you're stable, then your higher 3 chakra will work with the lower 3 chakra. It's almost like the dragon and the phoenix, right? And then they're coming out, and that's what liberates your heart chakra, if you know what I mean. Now, although in the book I mentioned, pretty specific meditation for each aura layer. It's for the and I want to make it beginner friendly. I don't want them to, get it so complicated. So they can begin with one practice, and once the lower 3 chakras clear up, they will notice. You will know if you form a regular practice, you will know when that click, happens. Hey, it seems like my life is pretty good now. I'm not a, crying baby, have emotional traumas, or I'm not like, angry all the time, with this. And then you know that, okay, it's clicked. And that's when everything happens. Now, I do mention that also in my book, how the yin and the yang and the pairs work. I think that's the end of chapter 1.
No, sounds very, very good. Yeah, let me translate that into, my more simplistic understanding. I
Okay.
sort of look at it as you're trying to balance like the yin and the yang in order to move up. That becomes a rung that you move up higher, and you sort of do that to translate that to something that most people have done. It's sort of like riding a bicycle, where you're trying to balance, you're falling to either side as you're trying to move forward to the next higher level, sort of thing. Am I even close to what? Does that make sense to you? Okay.
Yes, that's a very good analogy. I like it to take it down, in the plain simple way. And if you read the Ablipansha, that's actually the Asian Indian text. It's like the Indian Bible. It talk about Kundalini awakening. It's about the Ida and Pingala. That's also the breath why you have left nostrils and right nostrils. And those are the two, intertwined, serpents that goes up and down. So, that's another analogy. You see the two serpents, that one is the yin, one is the yang, going up and down inside to open up the channel. That's a Sushumna channel. So that's what, all this light work is about. Work your light is literally from, the bottom up. But at the end of the day, it's no matter which aura layer is your strength or which aura layer is your wound, you need to work up all of it. Because even if something is your strength, if you overuse it, and if you never rebalance it, you still need that particular color energy to rebalance it. Like, for example, I was born a artist soul gift archetype. I have really strong sacral chakra and third eye chakra. Those two make you an artist soul gift archetype. So you can see when you paint or create, and you have a lot of creative energy, right? However, if I over exercise it, I can tell, I either want to wear orange clothing, or I literally want to eat orange food, tangerine, you feel like you need that particular energy. Like, things manifested or radiate particular color, it's because they have that particular color energy. And you naturally drawn to it. Or you begin to, like, I work with orange, what's that called, crystals. Like things like that. So it's about what we're talking about is more like a word of balancing, the yin and the yang, the two channels of all energy that's interlocking, that makes up as a whole being.
Very good. And I have one last one, and this, I think, kind of ties it all together. You had talked about the white and the gold aura. How does everything tie into the rainbow body? Because there seems to be a natural connection between the rainbow body and your color aura stuff. Okay.
Yes. Rainbow body is the state of enlightenment. That's exactly what Miguel mentioned. What's enlightenment? That's it.
Yeah.
So that's what all we like. Remember who we are. We are ball of light. Why we're here? We're here to evolve. What does evolution means? To achieve this rainbow light body. So rainbow light is just literally the combination of white. Because if you have a bowl of white light going through a prism, you see all seven light, right? So the same thing is, you don't want to miss any of them. You want all 7 rainbows of light in your life. To a certain degree, although I'm not talking about perfection, like you become really have to be white or gold, but to a healthy degree. And once you achieve that rainbow light body, what happens? Well, in the spiritual realm, you can definitely tune in. You can definitely tune into the quantum. But what happens in the 3D realm is that you manifest faster. You're pretty much a healthy and joyful being. You're happy, your relationship is healthy, like all the 3D stuff that we long for, love, health, abundance. Like, are we all looking for the same thing? Although there are different versions, your definition of love is different, your definition of abundance is different. Doesn't matter. But whatever that you desire, it creates the portal. Why that happens in the 3D? It's because it creates the portal for you to access the highest version of you. Remember, at the beginning, I mentioned that once you tune into quantum, there are multiple versions of you in the vertical. It's not time, is really illusional. There is no time in the quantum field, okay? So which version of you want to access? It's literally the vibration that you're vibrating right now, the aura color you are at right now. That determines which version of you are accessing. If you want the best and the highest self version of you, you want to access that has manifested everything that you desire. Now, if you desire something, it's not random. Something that you're passionate about or you desire about, it's not random. It's because that's your soul's remembrance. There is a version of you already have that. That's why you want it. Some people want, I don't know, I'm just throwing out, some people want a jet, and some people just want a house next to the beach, okay? Like they're different things. But if you want that particular thing, it's because there was a version of you already have it. But in order to get to that version of you that already have it, you want to activate this rainbow light body. So accessing it is by working with every aura layer, which has everything, the recipe inside, how to do that, and also how to identify that. So at the end of the day, once you activate that in the 3D realm, that's what happened. And in the spiritual realm or in the quantum realm, all it means is that you are in your highest timeline. You are in the golden timeline of your life, this lifetime, this particular lifetime.
Well said indeed. Well, as we get to the top of the hour, you obviously your book has the system and you have a website, which we have in the show notes, but you offer other services, right? I see.
Yes, actually, I have a really exciting event coming up in a couple of weeks, October 4th. That's my annual flagship event, October 4th, Saturday, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, 2 hours. It's an online sacred gathering. It's free. You can register on my website, helencreatesbeauty.com. So everything I offer is on there, helencreatesbeauty.com. And that particular event, I only offer it once a year. I call it the annual flagship event, 2 hours of sacred journey together. What you will walk away is you will get a crystal clear clarity of what the heck you're here to do. That's my number one mission. I'm a soul purpose guy. I'm here to guide you to your own soul's purpose, to get that highest version of you, remember? So you walk away with a blueprint. Oh, this is what I'm here to do. Okay. So that's the first thing you will walk away with. And the second thing is that I want to ignite your light, your energy center through a chakra dance. So I actually work with a composer with original solfeggio frequency music, really high vibration music to hit every chakra. Remember, at the soul level, you just the light, your vibration and wavelength. So I'm going to hit everything. So that way you kind of wake up. I want you to wake up to remember who you truly are. So we're going to dance together. And then the last piece, I will also do live spirit message readings. So I want to connect to your spirit team, tuning to the quantum field. People always like it. And if you're live with me in the live audience, you can raise your hand. I do a reading for you. I can tell you who are your spirit guides and what messages they have for you right now. So you get a crystal clear clarity of what to move forward. So, and also you're going to learn the 4 pillars of how you can fully embody your light or how you can fully embody your purpose. Because once you walk with the blueprint, and you are really crystal clear, you want to know, how do I do that? Right? From here to there, that's the thing, right? I'll show you the 4 steps, the linkage to how you can get to here. So it's it's a don't miss event. It's free. It's crazy. So sign it up, and it's all on helencreatesbeauty.com. And of course, the first thing you'll see on my website is the quiz. It's a free quiz, the same you get from the book. But in the book, because your soul aura color can change all the time when your soul evolves. Remember, this system is dynamic. So it's good to have the book as a companion. So that way you can go back and take it, time to time, right? But there was a free quiz on my website as well. I do spirit message reading, just like I do live spirit message reading. You can order one from my website. I also have a affirmation deck that's for the 7, aura layers, all my original artwork and channel messages, all my paintings, 7 cards for 7 chakras, so 49 cards in there. It's like an oracle deck, and some custom, paintings. If you want to manifest your intentions, I have crystal grid for you. If you want a custom portrait with your soul aura color and soul flowers in the background, I have that for you as well. And of course, I have some signature courses online that you can follow along with the with the book. And there's one that's free and it's on my website. So that way you can get a feel of my teaching style and whether you like it. So you can sign up for the free Unlock Your Soul Purpose with the Aura Color Wheel Masterclass. And if you like it, you can sign up the course. And I do monthly Q&A and live spirit message reading with my Facebook group, with my private Facebook group. So if you buy any meditation or courses online, you're not alone. It's not like you buy it, you just watch the recording yourself. You have me as your guide. Every single month, I hop on to the group to answer your questions. So that's, this is my life purpose. It's literally to get you to your purpose. It's my purpose.
Awesome. Well, keep doing what you're doing. That's awesome. We'll check it out. And of course, to repeat, show notes, whether it's YouTube or podcast or audio, show notes to Ellen's website and all she has to offer, and definitely recommend the book. But we are at the end in illusionary space time. So thanks for the audience for being here. And Graham, thanks for keeping us company.
Always my pleasure. And I look forward into exploring Helen's system. Sounds very fascinating and could be very useful.
It is. It is. Well, Ellen, yes, thank you very much for coming on Aeon Byte. Really enjoyed the conversation, your time, and everything you do.
Thank you so much for having me, Miguel. I'm grateful.
Pleasure is all ours. And yes, for everybody else, thanks for being here. As I like to say, thanks for being here. Thanks for being yourself, your true self, here in the desert of the real, or as Ellen says, the matrix. All right, everybody. Take care. And we will talk hopefully sooner rather than later.